Hey, good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of the City of Wixom, the Wixom Police Department, and the participating law enforcement agencies and the Wixom Shooting Task Force, I would welcome you here this afternoon as we discuss our reward for the identity leading to the shooter involved in this incident, in these series of incidents. And in that regard, what I would like to do at this time is introduce to you the Special Agent in charge of the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives Bureau, David Dawkins. Thank you, Chief. Yes,
good afternoon. I'm David McCain. I'm the Special Agent in charge of the Detroit Field Division for ATF. These senseless shootings must be stopped. This individual has no regard for public safety and is attempting to cause injury and fear to citizens that utilize I-96 on an everyday basis. The danger and burden these shooting incidents place on citizens is unacceptable. These shootings are now one of ATF Detroit's Field Division's top priorities. Every agency on this task force has one goal in mind, that is to apprehend the individual responsible for these shootings. We are all working as one to solve these crimes. We cannot allow our citizens to be afraid to drive on I-96, to work, or to send their children to school in any of the affected areas. Someone knows this individual. It may be a spouse, a neighbor, an associate or friend. We need you to come forward with information. We need the public's assistance in apprehending this individual. I am increasing the reward being offered by ATF from $25,000 to $50,000. Our law enforcement partner, the FBI, is also offering $50,000. And Crime Stoppers has offered a $2,000 reward, bringing the total being offered to $102,000. Please contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP. That's 1-800-773-2587. I have also authorized additional personnel and resources to the task force, and we will continue to work with our local, county, state, and federal law enforcement partners to bring this individual to justice. At this time, I introduce my FBI counterpart, Zach Foley.
Good afternoon. My name is Robert Foley. I'm the Special Agent in charge of the FBI Detroit Field Office. The person or persons responsible for these random violent shootings has demonstrated a reckless disregard for human life. These acts of violence pose a serious threat that is being answered by numerous law enforcement agencies, to include the FBI. The FBI continues to provide resources in order to facilitate the apprehension of this individual. We remain committed to supporting the task force. As a result of that commitment, the FBI, as mentioned by Dave McCain, has also added a $50,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the individual sought. We're asking the public for their help to call in. Their identity will remain anonymous. With this $50,000 reward, combined with the $50,000 from the ATF and the Crime Stoppers $2,000 reward, the grand total is $102,000. Thank you.
If you have any questions, we'll be happy to take them now.
Have you gotten to the bottom of this morning's incident with, I believe it was the lady driving southbound on 23 just before 96? Was that a shot? Was that a rock? Or is it still undetermined?
Let me defer
Please
here.
come up to the mics.
Yeah. Let me defer here to the representative from the state police. Lieutenant?
Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Michael Shaw, SHAW. I am the Public Information Officer for the 2nd District. About 9 o'clock this morning, we received a 911 call about a possible vehicle that was hit by a bullet out on 96 near Henke Road. When the troopers and local officers responded out there, we went out and spoke with the individual involved. Crime Lab was called out there. We talked to them for a little bit. We believe that the vehicle was hit with a projectile, not believed to be a bullet. We cannot confirm that at this time, so we're not going to rule out that it wasn't a bullet. We're just pretty sure right now that this is not related to the incidents on the rest of 96.
But this, just for clarification, was on 23.
I'm sorry, 23. Yep, I'm sorry. I got 96 stuck in my head. Yep, 23. Yeah.
But also, just a point of clarification, earlier when we spoke, you mentioned that you had like 600 tips this press release is dated October 16th.
16th, correct, yep.
All right.
Yep.
Let me just mention something in regards to that, though. If all of you, our partners in the media, could kind of wait until we give you information, because a lot of reports hit the airwaves and hit the different kinds of mediums that, somebody was arrested and another shooting, and all of our phone lines lit up, and it took a lot of resources to try to tamp that down a little bit. So if there's something meaningful or relevant, you're going to get it as quick as we possibly can. First call would be to the chief, and then the deputy PIO is the undersheriff, McCabe in our office, and trust us, we'll get it to you quick. But, there was a lot of feeding on that, somebody was in custody and there was another shooting, and we don't want to add to the hysteria that some folks feel, understandably so, but we don't want to move it up a little bit. So.
Could either of the gentlemen from ATF or the FBI address what went into raising this reward money and what impact the wounding on Saturday had in your decision?
Sure. Well, for ATF, once over the weekend when they had the latest incident where an individual was injured, that, in our minds, that escalated things for us. Although, we've taken it seriously from the front, from the beginning, and now we're just applying more resources to the task force to, and hopefully, this additional reward monies will open up the floodgates, and maybe more leads will come in that will lead us to this individual, and we can successfully apprehend this individual.
Can you give us a feel for, when you say you've increased resources, can you give us a feel for you went from this number of agents on the case to this number?
Well, I don't really want to get into the numbers right now. All I can tell you right now is that we have increased our number of personnel. We're bringing all of our resources to bear as far as, technology, to help out with this investigation, and we don't want to get into too much of the investigation right now to put it out there.
Yeah, we were just saying, we can probably safely say that we're well over 100 people committed to this full-time, but individual agency commitments we're probably not going to get into for strategic reasons.
So in total with the cast?
Well over 100.
And if I could get, let's see, Mr. Foley from the FBI, would it be your department who would bring the expertise and the resources to maybe draw up a profile on who this person is, who the shooter is, and to what extent could you inform us about what you have?
Certainly. I can tell you that every agency that's involved in the task force brings to bear certain skills and abilities. The FBI certainly has that skill and ability, as do other departments that are participating on the task force. In particular, with mention is the Michigan State Police, and there are others as well. So it's a combined effort, all aimed at bringing those resources together, a force multiplier, if you will, bringing our special talents and combining them with the end objective of stopping this individual as soon as we can.
Having said that, can you give us an idea of who this individual might be and kind of the description of?
Well, I know a description is available from an artist rendition standpoint, but for that...
Sort of a personality type of, can you...
Sure, I'm not an FBI profiler, so I'll stay away from that, and we'll leave that to the experts that are working behind the scenes on the task force.
Is there someone here who can speak to that might bring some more?
I don't think that's been formally finished and developed for release yet. There are people working on it.
Can you share at least what they've gotten so far?
Well, then we would be telling you what it is. It's not. It hadn't been released yet. They're still working on it with the totality of circumstances and all the things that profilers do. So as soon as they have that done, you'll get it.
And is it safe to say, gentlemen, that any car that your officers see that would be an older Alero or a Chevy Cavalier that's driving in this area, because while we were out there this morning, we could hear a lot of radio traffic. Are you stopping and checking any vehicle that matches or comes close to that description, just as a precaution? Is that a fair statement as you're canvassing this area? How would you describe it?
I would think that that is a fair statement. If those facts are present with other facts that lead us to believe that the person who is responsible could be in that automobile, yes, we're stopping that vehicle and we're investigating those people.
And how many times would you say over the last 2 weeks all your resources you've
Oh.
phone call, follow-up, leads, that sort of thing?
I wouldn't be able to tell you the exact number, but I would say that it is on numerous occasions. We have talked in the command center about numerous occasions when people have been stopped and a field interrogation has taken place because the circumstances, be it the vehicle description or something other that has to do with the driver, perhaps physical description, fits that, which is close to the composite or physical description we've received, or that of the car. You know, bear in mind that when these situations occur, it's always a number of different facts which come together to lead the officer to believe that the person in the vehicle could be the person that we're interested in. So it's never really one fact that the officers consider when they're trying to make a decision whether or not they're going to stop a vehicle and try to identify the people inside.
And
Couple more questions, couple more.
just to follow up, Lieutenant Shaw, then, is that what occurred on 23 out in that same general area this morning, north of 96, the Cavalier that was on the shoulder of the road, and had K-9 go through it as well as K-9 through the grassy area just off the freeway?
The canines were searching the area where the individual this morning believed that they thought that the gunshot might have occurred from, or in their mind what was a gunshot. So that's what they're doing. We're going to, no matter what happens out there, until we actually rule it out that it is not either part of the case or actually is part of the case, we're going to dump all our resources in there to take care of that. So that's what the dogs were doing. This individual here happened just to match the description, which is one of the things that we're looking for with the people driving it. We're not saying that any specific car because we don't know, but kind of the same car. He got stopped by the trooper for a traffic violation. They talked to him for a little bit. During the lean check is when it was determined that he shouldn't be driving and that he had a couple warrants for his arrest. So even though the troopers are out there, mainly they're visual, looking out here and all the local officers there, but and anytime you have that much law enforcement out there, we get to clean up some other stuff too. And he shouldn't have been driving, and now he's in jail. So, well, he's not in jail. He's been released to his own recognizances.
Last question.
I mean, I guess if you guys don't mind, would feel comfortable just sort of addressing this sense of urgency. I mean, this is obviously a big deal. You're committing a lot of resources to it, and people are scared.
Well, yeah, I would agree. People are very concerned, and people are scared, and we're very concerned too. And I think that you can tell by the number of resources that we've committed to this investigation, and we won't stop until the person's identified and that person's arrested. That being said, though, people need to continue to live their lives. People need not to be intimidated and influenced by this man and his behavior. You can't let any type of terror or other type of experience that you feel or fear keep you from continuing on your daily life. The police and all the communities are working overtime and working doubly hard to keep everybody safe. And we're going to continue to do that, as well as push this investigation forward.
How confident are you you'll catch him?
We're going to catch the man. It's just a matter of time.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.